he could go 140 there, 150. And if somebody wants to play, they're going to play. It doesn't really matter.
You're gonna have better
It doesn't really matter what they have. They're going to come along, especially with what we've seen Ricard and Mike do. So in this type of game, you know, when you have it, you know, you got to go bigger because
the only thing is that
not
this
many
is
people are going to fold.
Yeah, I guess everyone has stacks close to 1,000. I was gonna say, and like because it's 1,000 max here. So, yeah, I guess that works. If it was a 500 cap game, I think you go a little smaller. But in a 1,000 cap game, I think you can go a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
Aaron
because
sits
everyone's
on my
deeper.
right, Kevin sits on my left.
So it's definitely important to be aware of stacks and be aware of what the effective stacks are in the hand when you decide what your sizing is.
And I mean, man, Ricard's challenging Mike for most aggressive here.
Yeah, he's going after it. So he 3-bets to 60, and now, you know, you run into jacks and nines. So this hand is definitely not over. So Cali Flo flats the jacks. The cold calls the 3-bet in the small blind, which I think is okay.
Nah, see.
But I would 4-bet though.
I would 4-bet.
Especially since Ricard's been active so far.
Well, and I would 4-bet because I don't want to take jacks 4 ways, and you gotta know that Pilot and Wayne are going to come along for a 3-bet price of $45.
Yeah, I'm like almost never flatting the small blind unless it's a really big multi-way small pot, like a 6-way pot or something.
Yeah.
I'm not, with a chance of it being heads up or 3 ways, I'm not really flatting the small blind. But if I am, it's going to have to be like a really strong hand to trap. So I'm certainly not doing it with ace-king or ace-queen or a hand like that. I don't think jacks is the worst to do it with. You know, it is a made hand. It's a pair, but it's such a strong hand. It's a top 5 poker hand. I would recommend 4-betting there, especially against Ricard, a guy who's been really active in position so far.
Yeah, and you guys have to understand that, you know, obviously jacks it's a very pretty hand, but taking it 4 ways out of position is just not something that I am on board with. I think that there are occasionally times where that might be an okay scenario, like say you have something like a 1-to-1 stack to pot ratio where you can, you know, where you're just getting it in on most flops. But when everybody is this deep, you know, even with flatting the 60, you know, the pot's only going to be like 250 going to the flop, and you're still, a lot of you are still like 800 to 1,000 deep, so. So anyway, we'll pick up the action here, and Ricard has made the nut flush.
And he checks the. Oh no, Wayne leads the. So Wayne called the flop and then led the turn.
Which I just can't really understand why.
Yeah, it's almost like a betting out of position for information, which normally isn't good in a cash game. You know, you don't want to bet for information, especially out of position. Wow, and he calls. Really quickly.
And he just sticks it in. He just stuck it all in?
Wow.
Wow, that is not.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how Wayne played that hand. You know, you have a really marginal ace hand. It's really just a bluff catcher at that point, and if you think that you have the best hand, then you should let your opponent continue barreling, right? Or you can let him check back, and now you get some more information. You can arrange him better on the river.